Well, good morning, character design. It is Monday, April 13th, and I'm going to try to keep this pretty short and sweet. I do want to go over a few things, though. Let's see. Oh, no. Wrong folder. All right, here we go. So first things first, I want to go over the rubric for your self-portraiture, okay? So here we go. Let's do this quickly. And then I have a few examples of some work that people already uploaded and kind of go through there. We're going to kind of grade it on the rubric, see how they did so far. So paper. Make sure you're using a white sheet of paper, so no notebook paper with lines in it. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I don't care what size it is. Try 8.5 by 11 should probably be the smallest size, like a piece of printer paper. If that's all you have, the bigger the better. Okay. Value. So the student chose one of those value techniques below to create their self-portraiture. Either this should be scumbling. It keeps. So stumbling is not right. It's scumbling with a C, and it keeps auto-correcting every time I type it. So hatch, crosshatch, contour, line hatch, scumbling, stippling, and circulism. So you're choosing one of those, all right? And doing just that one thing throughout the entire self-portrait, okay? Proportions. There are realistic proportions in the drawing based upon the photograph. The students use the grid line technique to create those realistic proportions. From what I've seen so far, what you guys have sent me, doing amazing. It's awesome. Head and hands. The students included their face as well as their hands in the drawing. So make sure that was a big thing, that we include hands. Because if you remember, the reason why we're doing this drawing is because our art schools across the country want just drawings of hands, pencil and paper, kind of old school fine art stuff, which isn't something that we often do a lot in our classes here in the academy. So this really helps you. It'll help you out later if you do intend to go to art school, which you may or may not. Okay, so that is 75 points if you add those all up. If you want to get an 85 points, full value range. The drawing has a full range of value from light to dark. When I say light to full dark, I mean black. We want dark. The drawing does not look flat. And what I mean by that is that it has this kind of same mid-tone gray look throughout everything. And to be able to earn these points, you must have completed the drawing. That is very important, okay? So, and then for a full A+ on the project, I'm sorry, this 75, this would be 90, and then for 100, the student consistently used the value marking technique throughout the entire drawing. For example, if you chose cross-hatching technique, you didn't then change to a contour and line hatch or a stippling or something, bizarre. You chose crosshatch as an example, and you did crosshatch throughout the entire thing consistently. So just make sure we're not changing up which one we're choosing. You choose one and you go with it, okay? So that's the rubric. Let's look at a few of these that I had turned in. And I kind of just randomly grabbed a few here. Let's start with this one. So if I'm looking at this one and I'm going to grade it, paper, 10, perfect. Value, looking good. That looks like, let's see. Oh no. That looks like circulism, doesn't it? Pretty good. I like it. Nice work. Let's see. Proportions look amazing. Heads and hands, awesome. Consistent of value. It looks like you're consistently doing scumbling. The only one that I would probably not say okay on is the full value range. And this is what I'm talking about, is that, I got some blacks in here, so I guess you could say yes. But you see how everything is just this kind of flat, washed out gray everywhere? That's what we kind of want to get away from. So we want areas of dark, of black, and then areas of light. So something with a higher contrast. So let's look at another one of these as an example. We'll come back to you. How do you do it? I can't remember. But if you are looking at this, you see how I have areas that are white and then areas that are fully black and dark, and I've created contrast. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're looking for here in terms of that full value range, that I'm getting mid-tone grays, dark grays, blacks, whites, and everything across the spectrum. That makes for a very, very good portraiture, okay? So and I'm not saying to start over if you're this person. I'm just saying go back and let's start hitting up some of those darks, go over much more aggressively in those, and really look at the portraiture to see like the areas that are dark and black, and then make sure that that is coming through in your drawing. Okay, I hope that explains that. Let's look at another couple of these. Let's see this one. I like everything about it, but if this is scumbling, it is too large. It's got to be more of a controlled scumble. So I found another one here that is scumbling that is much more controlled scumbling. Oh, yeah, well, this one, I'm sorry. Yeah, so scumbling, much smaller, much more controlled, and you get much more of a detailed look. If you go too big with the scumbling, it just gets a little wild. And so we want to add a little bit more detail. You know, there should be more that makes up the eyebrow here besides those big here. And I'm not picking on anybody. I chose portraitures that all look, I think, really, really good. We just want to make sure we make them look as good as possible. So again, nothing that you need to start over with on this. Just go back through and then just start really kind of like making much smaller scumbling marks for more detail, okay? And beautiful. Let's see. Let me open that up so we can actually zoom in on it. Stippling looks awesome. Looks good. I got areas of light, areas of dark, all the grays in between. That looks awesome. Good job. So yeah, I think everybody's doing a good job. I'm really happy. I put this rubric inside of our class notebook here in the files bin. So if you go to files, you'll see it, that rubric. So you guys will always have it, okay? What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to work on the drawing and do about 5 more grids today, more squares, okay? And then I'd like you to upload your drawing to our assignments tab right here. And you'll see there was a new assignment made called Self-Portraiture for Critique. And I'd like you to upload whatever you have right now for us to critique. Now, nobody's going to be able to see this. I'm going to post them places, and we're going to do something with it the next class period. So for today, finish 5 grid squares, upload for critique, make sure you do your review and your reflect. Remember, I grade that every single day, right? I think it's it, okay? So happy drawing, happy scumbling, have a good day, hope all is well. That's it. Bye, guys.